Young almost falls down. Throws to the end zone. Owen! Owen! Owen!
It will change. And I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change. Not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore on his left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown! Touchdown 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life! It all comes to this fourth down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up, biting. Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Yo, 49er motherfuckers, here we is, episode number 2. Right now, we're here, we're around the square table, we're talking, doing this thing. We got our guy Chris, the tech wizard, is trying to contact Podbean, or trying to make heads or tails of what the fuck Podbean is. So, we ain't fucking playing now. If you know anything about Podbean, legitimately, no bullshit, email us. Don't contact us through Podbean. Email us, okay? It is goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us you're a Podbean listener, because we have questions. What country do you live in? Do you speak English? What the fuck is Podbean? Do you have a Nextel? Like, what's your phone service? What the fuck is going on, Podbean? All right, with that said, we're going to, I guess, continue where we left off on last episode, and Steve is going to tell you how great the offense is.
Amazing.
Go for it, guy.
Save the best for last. Only half of it's amazing so far, but the half that is amazing is fucking amazing. I mean, on the first drive, Jimmy finds Goodwin deep down the sideline for 35 yards. A perfect throw on 3rd down, and Jimmy's subtlety in the pocket was on full display here. He makes the slightest adjustment to his throwing platform at the last minute, and it makes all the difference in the world with defensive pressure starting to rain in on him. And that's the kind of stuff that separates the elites from the rest of the pack. I've watched that play on slow motion like 5 times. It's the slightest step over.
Did you come?
But there's so many quarterbacks that cannot do that. They just can't get that aspect of that game down, of being mobile within the pocket without being frenetic in the pocket. Kaepernick was frenetic in the pocket.
He would just run.
Well, he had I've listened to a lot of Matt Waldman lately, and he has these terms called having quiet feet in the pocket and having loud feet in the pocket. Quiet feet is small, subtle steps that keep your throwing platform.
Well, it's like a boxing match.
Exactly.
When someone throws a punch, you don't jump back. All
Right.
you do is move that much.
Yes.
It's just enough.
And
less wasted motion, less exertion.
With loud feet, it's hard to get the throwing platform that you want right at the right time. Whereas if you have quiet feet, your feet are always kind of planted to the ground. You're not you don't have one leg up and you're not throwing the pass up. You're ready to throw at any point. But do yourself a favor, if you have a Game Pass subscription, watch that throw to Goodwin, and if you pay attention to his feet, you can see what I'm talking about. I'm really enjoying watching Jimmy Garoppolo play quarterback.
I think what Steve meant to say was, slide your pants down.
Yes. And just ejaculate all over your computer desk.
Lotion. Gotta have lotion.
Get a little lotion.
I don't even know I'd get the lotion out.
You don't need it?
You wouldn't even have to touch yourself. It would just happen.
All right.
I like to enjoy myself, but whatever you're into.
You just can't contain it.
I think there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Jimmy G is the unanimous MVP this season. It's hard to imagine a world where he's not.
I mean...
And Jimmy G is going to do... I'm going to go ahead and say it, and everyone can say I'm ahead of myself. I don't care. Jimmy G is going to do what Tom Brady did, and he's going to make wide receivers careers.
Yeah. Could you imagine...
He's going to make wide receivers household names.
Could you imagine if the Brady-Belichick wheels hold on for this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they end up in a big game against this guy, Jimmy G.
That'd be one hell of a fucking story.
First of all, I'm going to say this. I will never hate on the Patriots again
I'm not
because the
hating on 'em.
gift,
I'm
the
not-
gift that they gave us. No, but in the past I would because they're a local team.
Yeah.
It's
I
great
got
to
it.
hate on the local
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
when you're a fan of a
I'm still going to
faraway
hate
team.
the fan base.
I will never hate on that. Not me. Patriots fans want to talk football, we'll talk football. I won't even, no insults from me. That team just gifted us the franchise quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us thought for sure that we were going to end up with Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Or
And
at
we
least
were all-
waste a lot of money on
We
it.
were all okay with it, not excited about it.
Yes.
No. But this
And
situation's way better.
Every single one of us is excited about our quarterback situation.
I said it all summer.
Even like with Kaepernick, we were excited, but we were weary because even though he played in the Super Bowl, there were still question marks. You know what I mean?
There was still some wild
There
shit.
were holes in his game, and we always knew that.
Right, was he going to be able to, was his game going to be able to develop into the pocket passer, or was he going to be able to, establish himself as an every year, top 5 guy, or however you say it. But I don't think there's any question with this fucking cockslinger that it's going to be it's going to be MVP trophies, Pro Bowls, and Super Bowls for, until the time Rob's kids are in high school.
I haven't knowledgeably watched football my whole life. When I was young, I didn't know that much about football. My family wasn't a football family, so it took till later in life to understand football. But never since I understood how football works have I ever seen a quarterback, certainly for the 49ers, that on third down, I have no worry. In the past, it came to third down, I'm like, here we fucking go. I have no worry. When Frank was on the team, if it was third and short, I felt pretty good. But third and long, I was out. And it doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 7. I just feel like he's going to find a way to get the first down.
I guess how I could say it is I agree. I didn't always watch football with educated football. And I can't even say that I do now. And there's definitely a 10-year period where I watched blackout football, no question. But what I'm saying is there was a time that I watched football where no matter what down it was, whatever that to-go number was, I was comfortable in them getting it. But that was when the team was led by Steve Young, and there was Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens. I just remember the offense. I remember it very vividly, 95 through 98, 99. I just felt like we were going to make first downs every fucking time. And I feel that way again. And yes, third down is definitely, considering how bad we were for a while, or how we were definitely in. I saw an interesting stat. Before Jimmy Garoppolo, our to-go average, what our to-go number was on third down, was 8 yards. Mm-hmm. After Garoppolo, was 2 yards.
Really? Because it seems like
seems
he's
like
getting
longer
into
ones.
his third and long quite a bit.
It just seems like he gets them more.
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm
No,
just saying
I thought maybe I read it wrong.
It's felt trendy that we get ourselves into third and long, and it happened a lot last year. But Jimmy just made it happen on third down all the time.
And you get to see what it was like without him as soon as Beathard comes in, because it goes back to 3rd and 7. We throw for 5 and get tackled at 6 and don't get the first down, and it feels just like it's felt for the last 4 years, except it's only when Jimmy's not in.
The lack of the running game in these first 2 games have definitely been a factor in the first team offense getting in third and longs.
And they're still driving the field.
They're still
That's
driving
the
the field.
amazing part.
And it happened last year, too.
Add
third
a running
and longs
game to
all
that?
the time.
Oh, my God.
Insane. And, I mean, this another one. Jimmy finds Marquise on a 3rd and 9, and then we go for it on 4th down. And you literally see Jimmy go through his first 3 reads until he finds Juszczyk on the sideline. On his 4th read, and Juice takes it himself for 15 yards because there was nobody on him.
Did you see Shanahan? Shanahan talk about that play?
I didn't know.
He said, sometimes when you read the play at the line of scrimmage, you decide on who you're going to. Sometimes you decide. He goes, on that play, we were picking a side. Mm-hmm. We picked once, as soon as we saw the way they were lined up, we picked a side. He goes, as soon as Jimmy gets off of that side, I go, here we go. And then he finds a guy more open than I could have ever imagined on the other side, and I get over it real fast. He said,
Yep. You see, another play, I'm telling yourself, do yourself a favor, get a Game Pass prescription. We're not sponsored, but watch Jimmy Garoppolo play quarterback in slow motion. You see him look at guys, No, not liking that, not liking that, not liking that. Boom, wide open receiver.
And then there's sometimes he stares a receiver down and still gets the ball to him and still.
Well, that's the game that you can play. When you show defenses that you're capable of going through 3 or even 4 reads, there's maybe 4 quarterbacks in the league that can go through 4 reads routinely like Jimmy does, which is why I think he's going to be an all-pro. Then you're able to play that game where you can stare down a receiver and the defense is like, well, this guy knows how to go through reads because we can't just key on the one guy he's staring at.
I was totally wrong on that stat. I have no idea what it is. It still doesn't make sense to me. But at least I'm honest.
But Shanahan was saying, like, sometimes he breaks down on what he's supposed to do, and then of those times he breaks down, sometimes he makes more happen than would have happened if he didn't break down, so I have to learn to deal with that.
Yeah. And I mean, on the same drive, it was the first drive of the game, touchdown. He finds Trent Taylor once again on 3rd down.
Always with that little fuck.
Once again, Trent Taylor was his 4th read on that play, if you slow it down and you watch where his eyes go. His 4th read. I mean, that's just... I don't know if it's because I've watched Alex for so long, or Kaepernick, and then the fucking train wreck that we've had since. But...
Maybe it's just because Jimmy's the greatest quarterback that's ever lived. I'm
really starting to think... I mean, it's hard to deny it. I mean, the quality... His efficiency, it's rare for me to get this high this early on a player because I kind of try to reserve judgment, especially at that position, because you don't know what a quarterback is until you get deeper in their career and like, oh, they're consistent or they were just a flash in the pan. What he's showing is elite quarterback play, all pro level, Super Bowl MVP level, league MVP level quarterback play, and he's only played 7 games.
Undefeated.
So is Deshaun Watson. I don't see that out of him though.
So do you think that he's going to go 7-0 and tie Big Ben's record there?
Ben went 14 games without losing? Really?
First game he lost was an AFC Championship to Tom Brady.
Oh, he didn't start the season as the starter then.
Nope.
He took over.
Yeah. Injury. It was. I think he came in a game, I want to say, like halfway through that like second or third game, and I don't remember what happened.
Wow.
I don't know if he won or lost. But.
14 games. I don't know.
Another raper.
He's definitely a raper. White guy, party boy, frat boy look, attitude.
Definitely raper.
Definitely raper. Kobe, he don't need to rape. He's too smooth.
Then again, on to the next series after the touchdown. Once again, Garoppolo to Goodwin with a 3rd and 7 conversion. Same series. Garoppolo to Trent Taylor on 3rd down. The guy just makes shit happen on 3rd down. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter how long. Like you said, it could be 3rd and 5. It could be 3rd and 20. You're confident that he's just going to get it done. Eventually, we need to start gaining fucking yards on 1st and 2nd down. Otherwise, that's going to come bite us in the ass eventually.
Sooner or later, they'll figure out how to fuck us with that if we don't figure it out.
He's basically a magician.
But the way... I just
the
can't
size
even
of the
describe
Mississippi
it.
River.
Like I said, people said he's the next Tom Brady. I see Aaron Rodgers. Everybody talks about Aaron Rodgers as the most talented quarterback that's ever played the game, and it's hard to deny that based on what the guy's done. Granted, he hasn't won
It's too bad
as
those
many
fucking
Super Bowls.
collarbones are made out of fucking paper mache.
So what? Now, Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl.
That's it.
Okay, now let me tell you something. If at the end of the day, right, he retires with 1 Super Bowl, and then Jimmy Garoppolo goes and does what we know he's about to do, he's going to rip off 2 or 6 in a row. I don't know.
2 or 6 in a row.
But because there was always that what if, all of it in the end will be worth it. I would never want Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he carries himself. I think he is gay and he's hiding it. He's got that boyfriend. There was all that smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire.
I'll take it one step further.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick in 2012 is arguably 1 play call away from a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Arguably 1 play. It's 1st and goal. Right?
1 hand off to Frank Gore.
2013, Colin Kaepernick is arguably 1 play away from a Super Bowl ring. Because we know if he makes that touchdown pass to Crabtree,
we destroy the Broncos.
We go in and we beat the Broncos. So arguably, Colin Kaepernick is 2 plays away from 2 Super Bowl rings back to back, and Aaron Rodgers has 1.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking
what does that tell you, though?
would that be?
What does that tell you? It's the quarterback. Yes, the quarterback pulls the bus, but it takes a collaborative effort to win the damn thing.
Of course.
Oh, no doubt. No question.
I mean, I think that Fatso up there in Green Bay would have been fired a long time ago had they had a traditional owner.
Yeah.
They don't have a traditional owner, so Fatso's still on there on the sideline coaching when he's under.
Yeah, Green Bay will not win again until they get rid of the coach.
They gotta
And
get rid of
it'll
it.
Yeah,
be
he's
too-
clearly something up with his chromosomes.
Yeah, and it'll
Let's be realistic.
It'll be too late for Aaron Rodgers at that point.
Yeah. What?
You know.
I mean, I don't feel bad, but you got to say what a shame. You know, if you're a fan of that team.
Yeah, what a shame. He probably could have won more.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's a
fucking-
team that's perpetually competitive, but not winning Super Bowls.
Right.
Yes.
Like always competitive.
Real competitive.
Like they haven't had a year in a long time where it just shit the bed. Except maybe that year he got hurt. It was kind of
Any year he got hurt,
and they
shit the
still
bed.
I think made the playoffs. But they haven't known a year like we've seen recently.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know a year like that.
Right.
But they also just have one Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's so whack. The fucking
but
Eli Manning has two.
It's like
I know.
I was gonna
Peyton
say,
Manning won one doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
you would look at it, you would say,
Hindering.
Ben
Yes.
Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback, right? No
Yeah.
question. Yeah, Ben's got two. He was surrounded on teams with great defense,
Yeah.
and when it came down,
He's got 2 rings,
But
though.
he also did it with the pressure too. Big Ben, that young stud he was when he was raping and partying. All right.
All right, you want a mystery quote?
Oh,
Not yet. I didn't get
Oh.
into like the second and third teamers.
Oh.
The kind of important stuff. I mean, Jeremy McNichols looked far superior to Joe Williams in every single
Yes.
way, shape,
Joe
and
Williams
form.
is
this
not
week.
going to be on this
I'm
team.
gonna get the rig.
I think he's done, and Jeremy McNichols just made more decisive cuts.
I know.
He had more of a sense of urgency of getting north and south, and he's just flat out running harder. That's what I say. Joe Williams had a chance to fight his way to the marker, and he instead seemingly settles for running out of bounds 2 yards short of the marker.
Did you also notice it seemed like they were rotating them more? They didn't go like a whole drive with one and then switch. It was almost like they wanted a more fair competition.
Yeah.
Like they were switching them each set of downs rather than by a quarter.
Right.
Almost like they didn't want it to be an unfair, like, yeah, but he got to play with the ones and I had to play with the twos. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost like they wanted to prove.
And they're talking about Joe Williams possibly going on IR for fractured ribs. I mean, what are they going to do? The same thing they did that last year, stash him for a year because of a broken thumb. At this point, just get rid of him because he
It's
obviously
cheap. It doesn't cost anything, right? I mean,
no nothing.
Yeah,
It costs
so-
nothing.
I'm saying that's why not keep him?
He was a big story from last year that brought hope to his play because Shanahan stood on the table for him. He was a 4th round pick. You expect a 4th round pick to at least contribute, but he looked better last year
Yeah.
when I saw him play in the preseason.
Yeah, they might just stash him as a body for next year.
I
As
mean-
a fucking dummy for
Or
defensive
can we
practice.
can we bring him back possibly mid-season if there was an injury?
Yeah, I think you're eligible to bring back players from IR midseason. So that wouldn't be a bad move either because he does know the offense. But I just have not been impressed by a single
nothing.
run he's had this
Not
year.
a single, not once.
And we just signed Alfred Morris.
Everyone else has had at least one where I went, okay.
Yeah. I think the signing of Alfred Morris spoke volumes about what's going on with Joe Williams
sure.
right now because that was before Joe Williams even got hurt.
I
know Breda McKinnon got hurt, but
I said it last week. If they thought Williams and McNichols were the answer, they would have brought in just a body
yeah.
to be a running back. They brought in someone that has a chance to make the team, which means they're not sold on the guys they have on the team.
Alfred Morris had a good season last year,
Yeah.
if you remember correctly. I think he started 5 games. He had over 500 yards. In
I think he's got a shot
Elliott's place.
just based on the fact that he's not like everyone else on the roster.
People think he's old, too. He's not old. I think Alfred Morris is only, 27, 28?
28. Yeah.
That's nothing.
I'd trade him
Frank
for,
Gore's 96.
I'd trade him for Frank right now.
Yeah. Then C.J. Beathard comes in. And to start out, Pettis made a really nice sliding catch on a very poorly thrown ball from Beathard. Next, Beathard gets flagged for an illegal forward pass. Did you see that
Yeah,
one?
it was like 7 yards past the fucking line of
That-
scrimmage. I mean, it's
when
easy.
you're that far,
It's easy to tell from home because they put that dumb fucking thing
the
up.
blue line there.
But he was on the sidelines, which means the marker's right there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like jumping over the line. He was like 3 steps past the fucking line.
Alfred Morris will be 30 in December.
Oh, really? I thought he was younger than that. Well, so much for that theory. But Beathard overthrows a guaranteed touchdown to Pettis. Pettis had like 5 steps on his man. Just overthrew him. Another batted down pass for Beathard, and he's just had a really rough preseason so far. He looks sluggish.
I don't think
he looks sloppy.
I don't think he's in jeopardy of losing the backup spot to Nick Mullins, but Mullins is getting better and Beathard's getting worse.
I don't know if it's a comfort factor for Beathard. Like, he came in last year probably thinking that he had a chance to start, which reasonably so. You could think that when you got Brian Hoyer in front of you and you end up actually starting. But then when Jimmy Garoppolo comes in,
game over.
It's game over. And, like, do you get comfortable? Like, oh, okay, I'm just the backup here. I think that shows up in your play. The best backups in the league approach the game as if they're the starter.
Do you think some of these, like, the fringe guys that are going to make the team, but, like, you know, like the Bradley Pinions, guys that, like, aren't, like, super in the mix type of guys, like, you know, second string type of guys, you know, do you think they're like, oh, man, we're about to go for a hell of a ride this year, motherfucker? Like, they just can't, like, even like a backup quarterback. Like, man, this shit's, the practice squad guys are like, could be a crazy fucking year, man, you know? Like, you think
Possibly,
that's the conversation going on? Because that's what I'd like. If I was sitting around having dinner with you guys, right, and we were expecting, you know, like, this podcast was going to do something, we'd be like, it's going to be a wild year, man, lots of crazy trips and this, that, the other, you know? Like,
honestly, I think they're just happy to be employed. Because a lot of those guys only last in the league for like 3 years, and we never even see them play.
Fair enough. I think they know what's coming.
I mean, you got the veterans that travel to other teams to try to win rings. People go to New England all the time. People go to Green Bay all the time, and they go there for a reason because they're chasing a ring. They'll take less money to go there. I think eventually we'll become one of those teams where people will take less money to play in San Francisco.
I mean, we've been that in the past.
Certainly.
Many years ago when you were just a...
I was just a baby.
You were just a cum shot.
I wasn't even that yet.
Not yet.
This was almost it didn't happen at the same time, but it was the same scenario. McNichols with a really ballsy grab over the middle, and he held on after getting hit pretty big. Joe Williams, same play, doesn't hold on to the ball, ends up being tipped up, ends up being an interception, which it was hard for me to place that much blame on him on that throw because he caught it the only way he could have caught it. And he didn't. The defender was all over him. Just made a good punch on the ball. But Beathard needs to shape up because I don't know how you can justifiably defend that play. Like, that's been some of the worst quarterbacking we've seen. Even, you know, going to Hoyer or going to Blaine Gabbert.
Not good.
But my biggest offensive concern thus far is the apparent lack of an effective running game, and I've watched the running plays, and I'm trying to place blame. I'm looking for any excuse like, oh, it's that guy, it's this guy, it's that guy. I'm watching the offensive linemen hold their blocks. I'm watching the running backs, for the most part, finding the right lanes to run through, and I don't have any answers as to why this running game hasn't gotten going. I have nobody to blame. I wish I did.
It better get going.
It might be one of those things where it's like, oh, we'll hit one eventually, and then the dam's going to open.
Let's hope so.
So
let's hope it waits till right about week 1.
Yep, but that's it for the offense. Very excited about the offense this year.
Week 1 is on the road, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yep.
That's going to set the tone.
On the road and an early game.
We go in there and beat Minnesota at home.
This
a team that's projected at least a championship or something.
I will say that although it's the first game of the year, that game is the most important game of the season, in my eyes. Because you win that game,
it's a tone setter.
You justify everything you did last year, and you justify everything you're going to do this year.
When you make every team that's next on their schedule go, oh shit,
they're for real.
This is real.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think as long as you don't get blown out, that happens. But,
sure.
But a win really sets a fucking tone.
On the road in Minnesota, absolutely.
All I have to say about that is, like, I understand it's a big game, and I get it. You know, Minnesota was in the NFC Championship last year. You know what I mean? But they have a new quarterback, right?
A quarterback that Kyle Shanahan knows very well.
Right, okay. So they have a new quarterback, and Chris just had to step out. So if things go haywire, it's not me. So I just don't understand how the hype could be so much higher for Minnesota, who is putting a new quarterback in, who has to have a new running back now because we got that motherfucker. So they've had all these things happen, and they're saying that they're going to be better than the 49ers, who we've had Jimmy G for last year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
Well, there's a lot of things there.
The narrative from there comes from the fact that they last year they had what's his name? He's just in Denver now, the quarterback.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum was their quarterback last year. Everybody and their mother would probably say that Kirk Cousins is an upgrade over Case Keenum, even though he had a hell of a year. And I mean, Jarrett McKinnon was the backup. Dalvin Cook, the rookie, was lighting the world on fire until he tore his ACL. You don't know how he's going to come back from that.
But they don't have Jarek McKinnon because they didn't sign him.
Yeah.
They could have signed him, but they chose not to. So they opted for Cook.
Okay.
And their defense.
They've done nothing on paper. They've done nothing but upgrade this season. There's nothing. There hasn't been any.
We have too, but we have a lot higher to go.
Yeah,
right.
We weren't
in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, I don't know.
Again, that's Garoppolo didn't play until the last 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
If the season started there, we're the best team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. We're 5-0, and we're the best team in the NFL. If the season started there, but it didn't. It's not reality.
12 team makes the playoffs every year. I think last year I would have put us against fucking 8 of those teams and said,
we beat
"Good
the
luck.
Jaguars.
Good luck."
What's the time we're at, Papa? Papa. 25.
We're gonna go mystery quote.
Yeah, mystery quote.
Mystery quote.
This one might be easy, so if you know it, don't answer it.
Isn't that the point of the game, though? I guess the point of the game is to guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The point of the game is that the content makes you guess.
Okay.
Not like you've read it.
Gotcha.
This is about the new helmet rule.
I don't know anything about this.
You probably know this.
Maybe.
The rule is idiotic and should be dismissed immediately.
Jalen
Not
Ramsey?
pulling no punches.
I don't know, but I'm going to take a guess. Richard Sherman.
Yeah, definitely Sherman.
I was saying Jalen Ramsey.
He said the whole thing is there's no make adjustment to the way you tackle. Even in a perfect form tackle, the body is led by the head. Think about that. Run full speed at something and do anything without your head being in front of your body.
It's retarded.
It's impossible.
It is.
What do you run like? Put your legs out in front of you and run? It's a cartoon.
That's a drop kick.
It's so true. Think about it. Like when he said it, I was like, that's kind of true. Like you can't run fast without your head being in front. Like it's just the way you run. Especially as you go faster, you get more leaned forward.
I love that he said, I challenge the people that created this rule to run to do that. Show me. I want video of you doing it.
Have you guys seen some of the calls? I know you probably saw the Raheem Mostert call, but there was one that was so ridiculous. It was a Minnesota Vikings sack on a quarterback. They called it roughing the passer. It was leading with the helmet, roughing the passer. It was a picture-perfect form sack. Nothing dirty about it. Hit the quarterback right in the number.
He also said, after he said it's idiotic and should be dismissed, he said, when you watch rugby players tackle, they still lead with their head.
Yeah.
And they don't wear helmets.
No.
I think this is, if you guys recall, back in the 2013 season, they came up with the rule where the ball carrier, usually the running back, cannot lead with his helmet outside of the tackle box. And everybody lost their shit. Oh my God, this is going to change the game of football, blah, blah, blah. And that season, there was only 2 calls for it all year. I know they've been going nuts in the preseason this year, but that's usually par for the course with them because they'll fucking go ape shit in the preseason just setting the precedent, and then they'll back off once the regular season comes.
And also, as long as it's going both ways, it's just going to be a new way to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be us being like, oh, what the fuck? And then it happens the other way, and we're like, oh, we'll take the free 15.
Yeah.
I have one idea on how to fix the whole thing.
No helmets.
Absolutely.
That idea has been floated out there quite a few times.
You wear almost like a lacrosse style shoulder pad, just a mouth guard, maybe a leather helmet, maybe, and that's it. People are gonna be a lot more fucking careful with what they're doing with their fucking head. Yeah.
They've talked about getting rid of the face mask. If you don't got a face mask, I don't think you're going to be sticking your face anywhere.
No, but you'll fucking...
I don't know. You'd think twice about that, too, if you don't have a face mask.
I would.
Yeah, but not as much as no helmet.
I'd be like, fucking, I'm doing it. I would definitely have to, pump myself up, but I'd be like, all right, guys, listen. They're going to give the ball to running back here. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going in.
It's your turn. Yeah. It's your turn.
Head down. I ain't giving a motherfuck.
You haven't had a concussion in 7 years. You fucking do it.
I got one more if you guys want it.
Yep.
This is an organization. Okay? A player got suspended for a domestic incident and this is the organization's statement. The organization says, through our conversations with so-and-so, we believe he is taking the proper steps to improve and that he can change. So-and-so has assured us that he is fully dedicated to making this change. He also understands the consequences if he does not, and they've kept this person on their roster.
I know who it is, so I'm going to let Joe guess. The answer's going to blow your fucking mind.
I don't know.
What is the last organization that you can think just should be pulling this fucking stunt right now?
It's almost too obvious.
The Cowboys?
Yeah, it's almost too obvious. Not the Cowboys.
Give it to me. I'm just missing.
How did this all start?
The Ravens?
Yes. This all started because when Ray Rice got busted, they kept him on the fucking roster. And then a video comes out of him fucking punching his wife like he's in a boxing match. So this fucking idiot organization has another guy get in trouble for beating up his girlfriend, and they fucking keep him on the roster through his suspension
And
again.
who was it?
Jimmy Smith.
Starting cornerback.
How fucking insane is that? I mean, you got to be really fucking sure that nothing's
making
going.
that? Who's making
They
that
said
decision?
they were even in their statement. They said we're confident he's going to make this change.
Right.
By you
He
saying
admitted it.
that,
Yeah,
you're
he admitted
admitting it.
He admitted that he did it. 100%.
Who's making that decision?
I don't know, but they didn't have room for Colin Kaepernick. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, if I... Okay.
And they signed RG3.
Don't have room for Colin Kaepernick. Well,
And
that's
they
a whole.
signed
That's a
RG3.
whole. Like, you're willing to keep this motherfucker, but you won't sign Colin Kaepernick because of the headache that he's going to cause you. Really?
I don't know, man. It's like, why... It's fucked up on so many levels.
Right?
Like, why would you... I don't know. Good. I mean, good on them. They back their players. I mean, fuck it. But it's just like, if I was in charge of people, you know what I mean? And one of my people was beating their wife, I would have to let them go. I'm sorry. I'm right.
Yeah, just on a fundamental level.
Right. Like, just like, dude,
You're just a piece of
you can't
shit.
bring that
Like,
here.
on a
You're just an
consistent
actual
basis.
piece of shit.
Not just once, on a consistent basis.
I feel like just once is enough.
Right.
I feel like...
But leave that alone.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
it just
about
amplifies it.
consistent
Yeah, it just
basis.
amplifies it.
Like, come on. I don't know, man.
We're having a little photo shoot here.
Current ass. Yeah, you want me to try it? You want me to try it?
My phone's cracked, but I bet the camera works just fine.
All right. So you want to read some emails?
Rob, you got anything else lined up?
Oh, I was going to drop it as a he can pick.
Okay.
Shoe slinger.
Nah.
We knew that was coming. We knew that was coming.
Who were you thinking?
No, I was going to let you pick. That's why I thought it'd be great. I figured you could shoe sling your father, or you could shoe sling
Me?
the owner of the Ravens for continually having wife
I'm going to do
beaters.
the first shoe sling week 4.
Week 4?
Yeah, week
No.
4.
Oh, the preseason.
The preseason.
Okay.
So on the Vikings.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be doing one there anyway.
Yeah.
Because, we'd be doing the Vikings. But I might do a freestyle one there
Okay.
to set it off.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed,
Now,
but
the sewage comes that week. You know what I mean? The sewage spewage is coming. The bus that they're building the pipes. They're loading the shit back.
we just called Roto-Rooter, and we're waiting for them to send the auger through.
The shit is coming through, my friend. That we're gonna.
What do you got, a timer going?
I can't get it out there.
My arms are way longer than yours.
There you go. I think I got it finally. Perfect.
All right, so what are we moving on
We gotta-
to now?
We got to
Emails?
talk a little more because he's got to play the first email.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I got it up.
this guy
Whoa.
multitasks.
Whoa.
He goes from not paying attention to
Look at All Pro over here.
taking a call to multitasking.
Someone's been working out this off season.
Who was everything okay with the call? Yeah. I thought the dog got in trouble.
Yeah, he's just running the world now. We stepped up his game.
Traveling next week. Hawaii?
No.
Where you going?
California.
Oh, fancy. What part?
Santa Clara.
Modesto.
Yo, Modesto listeners, the Tech Wizard's going to be out in your bitch.
Any good-looking young ladies out there?
Anybody wants to fuck? Anybody got the drugs?
Any good-looking young ladies or men?
Dudes, goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Attention, Chris.
Or rich old men?
What do you got?
Any
Pick
of the
him
above.
up from the airport in
Sugar
your
daddy?
Corvette.
If you're a sugar daddy, hit Chris up.
Take him to TGI Fridays. Show.
I don't recall if he would suck a dick for a
Applebee's?
Super Bowl.
Give him your medication. Whatever
I'll say
you're
this.
on.
I'll say this. If he does suck a dick for a Super Bowl, he's allowed to do whatever he wants to 49er fan. No more fucking jersey rules. No, he's a full
No more
Tattoos.
No more
He
Jets
He
jabs.
can do what. I'll never say another word about the Jets to Chris.
We'll fight
as
Duffy
long
over
as I
it.
live,
Yeah.
and I'll fight anyone else that does.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll shoot.
First of all, what have you done to get this Super Bowl? Because motherfucker did it.
Yep.
He took it down. All of it. Alright.
Is there any content in the email?
Well, we should tell him who it's from.
I'm going to get there.
Oh, everybody knows who it's from. Everybody, it's the heart and soul.
The lifeblood. The fuel that runs this ship.
The pulse.
The petroleum that runs through the mechanical engine that is this beast.
The lubrication on this condom.
That's right. This wheel does not spin without the wind that blows this turbine.
Chose the ribs.
The gasoline.
And since the
The
lube.
gasoline in this engine.
No, just the forces that just shoves that fucking blood through everything. Matt fucking Matterson. Give him the respect he deserves, you cunts. He's got opinions.
Bradley opinions.
Oof. No subject. Let her rip.
This might be a long recording because I have some opinions to talk about. So, first off, Rob, would you like 2 short recordings, 2 long recordings? 1 long, 1 short. Take your pick. Just glad it's preseason. So many penalties and so many turnovers. If this was a regular
take your
season
pick.
game, I
What do you
would have
want?
been really frustrated with the team, but it's preseason. Let me get to the penalties. I think we're going to see this not just throughout preseason, early in the season with this new pin rule that they applied of how players tackle each other. Lowering their helmet is not allowed. Basically, they have to be leveled when it's being hit. And one of the Niners was flagged for it, even though it didn't look like he lowered his head. I think we're going to get a lot of frustration with that rule. Just saying, the league added on to the catch rule, making it confusing, thus changing the catch rules during this off season. I think the league would have caught on to that. Let's get to the actual first stream. Jimmy Garoppolo actually did a good job in the first drive. Second one, I was a little bit bummed when the center caused 2 back-to-back penalties. And an interception happened off of the play after. Anyway, the first drive, Garoppolo was on his game. So was Goodwin. Trent Taylor with that nice touchdown to number 83, who was wide open, made a first down off of a catch that Jimmy made. Goodwin at 83. Any others? Selleck. Anyway, just saying, things are looking up, but the penalties and turnovers could happen less. Other than that, Joey said something about watching the games, how he wants to watch them because of the situation that RG3 is on the team and Kaepernick is not. Just saying, I don't know if it's a worthy thing to fight, because back in April, Kaepernick was talking to the league. And I believe Goodell was with them, and Kaepernick was asked if he joined a team, would he kneel again? And Kaepernick's response was, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't think it's a worthy cause. And I heard he turned down some offers too, so I think Kaepernick's mindset is on other things, not football. Just saying. Yeah, that said, that's another thing I want to say. I kind of agree with Steve with how long preseason is. 4 games is way too long, especially when they have the Hall of Fame game. 2 teams play 5 games in the preseason, and this is my opinion. I think they should trim the preseason to 3 games and get rid of the Hall of Fame game. Just my opinion. Other than that, I am out, really.
Thank you, Matt. Your opinion is appreciated and valued here at the Gold Blooded Podcast. And as far as us picking, you know you have carte blanche. However you want to send them, brother, you send them. 1 little one, 1 big one, 2 small ones, 4 big ones.
Send
I don't
'em.
give a fuck. You
Take your
send
pick,
them.
Rob.
Send it.
Send it.
The more the merrier.
Nick Duffy says, just great. Title. You guys are really great. I'm only saying this because Joey asked people to email in and tell us how great we are. You cunts are great cunts. Great big fucking cunts. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate the kind words.
All right.
Nick Duffy number 2. Preseason training, social media cunt. Uh-oh. Good day, cock jockeys. How the fuck are we? I have attached a pic of Ridiculous Kid with his Jimmy G, non-stitched fucking NFL shit cunts jersey because social media cunt said send them in. Have fun with that. Off-season is still a fucking douche canoe. It really has nothing going for it apart from the training regime. Speaking of your training regimes, by the time you are recording this, I should be a couple of hours into my last big training push before the season proper. And by training, I mean just off a plane driving a rental car like it's stolen with a 1/4 ounce of Coke, a big fucking bag of MDMA, and a pocket full of oxys. I just have to remind fuckers not to open the windows while I'm hovering straight from the open bag. How do you say that?
Hoovering.
No. The next one.
Whilst
Whilst.
Wills.
But he said I'm hoovering.
Yeah.
He means like sniffing. You
Yes,
said
I know, I
hovering.
understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did say hovering. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, you're right. Correct. Whilst driving. That shit is dangerous. It would be very easy to get in an accident trying to chase powder out an open window doing 110 tripping balls and trying to drive while oxys and cocaine battle to the death for control of my heart rate. Safety first. Windows up, fuckers. Chris, you filthy Jets fan. Filthy fucking Jets fan. Did you upload the second episode first last week? Fucking outstanding. I thought I had lost 24 hours. I'm out, fuckers. Really. If I remember, I'll drop you a message from 48 hours into a 4-day road trip to hell. Or more likely, I'll just text Joe random photos of big fucking breakfast trails. Keep the fantastic work, boys. It's a team effort making it through the entire season. Giddy up. And then there's a nice picture of Ridiculous Kid with the double middle finger and the Garoppolo. We should send that to, what do you got going on?
I'm looking at his back.
You lurker. Maybe we should send that to the guy to get that posted. All right. We have an email from Marcus Anderson, no subject. He says, hello. How and where can I listen to your pod? I'm a Swedish fan who needs more 49ers in his life.
Well, if he hasn't figured it out, then there's no point in telling him on here how to listen because he'd
Right.
already be listening.
No, we had Mr. Curran handle that as it's out of my pay grade. All right. Just Joe, bro, sends a hashtag fiesta. Hashtag is the title. Hashtag Earthworm Jim's first lost. Oh, hold on, let me start over. Hashtag Earthworm Jim's first lost. Hashtag but not really. Hashtag Pettis should have caught that ball. Hashtag Pettis loves soccer Joe. Hashtag Joe Williams sucks balls. Hashtag Mullins isn't better than beat hard. Hashtag Mullins plays against third strings. Hello. Hashtag the rookies need nicknames. Hashtag will this be will this year be like last year's podcast? Hashtag the Joe versus Steve show. Hashtag hooray, Joe didn't retire. Hashtag what's your guys' favorite liquor? Hashtag I got you guys something. Hashtag yes, even Chris. Oh, must have a job. Hashtag puppy to the cunt. Hashtag faithful puppy cunts. Hashtag fuck it, right? I don't drink. I smoke weed. Steve?
Whatever you send. I'm not a big liquor guy. I drink beer.
Chris?
Same.
Diet Pepsi.
Drink Poland spring water. You don't have that on the West Coast. You got y'all. Nothing about that. All right. I don't care how much time we're at. We're done. It's the fucking off season. So we're going to say this. You know where to email us. You know where to pay us. Do it all. That's how we like it. See our friend Michael Curran on the Instagram or Twitter. Everybody else, go fuck yourselves. Wait, we didn't even mention the 49ers play this week.
Indianapolis on the road.
Indianapolis on the Colts. Jim, what's his name? Irsay?
Jimmy Irsay.
He is going to be on Oxycontin and partying.
Who's their coach now?
The other guy. The second
Some other
guy.
shit cunt.
Fuck. It wasn't Josh McDaniels.
No,
who they announced was their
They definitely
coach.
got a second plan B shit cunt.
Who is it?
Frank Reich,
Nothing like being the second choice guy.
right?
Nothing like the first guy blows him off.
Also, before we go,
That's
I don't
like
know
a girl's prom date not showing up and she calls you and you're like, oh, okay.
if you guys have anything to say on this. Ohio State just suspended Urban Meyer, but for only 3 games.
Come on. 3 games?
3 games.
It's not like it's not going to be his guys in there, so what's it really matter?
I have no idea.
It's like the year,
That
what's
blows
his
my
name,
mind.
got suspended from the Saints.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
still
he got
his
the whole
team.
year.
It was all his stuff.
Yeah,
It's a fucking joke.
And to me, that's not as bad. To me,
No.
they
to
didn't.
me,
They
paying
did
your
pretty
players,
piss poor. They didn't make the playoffs.
paying your players a bounty to hurt players on the other team is not as bad as attacking your wife physically.
and that was
repeatedly.
fucking supposedly Greg Williams' thing. He was like the head of that bounty.
Right,
thing.
and you could also look at it as...
Have you guys caught any of him on the Hard Knocks?
Oh, no, but
Oh, he is insufferable.
But you could also look at it as I'm paying players to throw legal hits, and if they injure a player, then they get a bonus, as long as it's legal.
Right.
You know, there's that argument. But yes, I've been reading about this fucking Hard Knocks, and it seems like I should be watching it.
I watch it every year. I find it entertaining.
They said that this one is the most entertaining because it's like real, they said.
I don't know about that. Although I haven't seen
That
the
team's
most
gonna be
recent one.
such a shit show. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to
And
see
it
love
blows
it.
my mind too because if I had to look at just on paper, talent on paper, they have better talent than half the league.
Yeah, that staff is just a shit show.
They're-
From top to bottom.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
All right.
Oh, did you see Joe Theismann predicted the Niners win the West?
No,
Joe Theismann
Really?
says the Niners win the West.
that's probably the first one I've heard so
10
far.
wins.
I'm picking 16, so fuck everybody. That's it.